long story short, yes, after an hour of this movie, he's working at this bank place. He's an established bank guy. He's got a bunch of kids at home and a wife, the girl Mary, of course. And this Mr. Potter, who's like this ruthless capitalist who owns most of the town, is now trying to take advantage of a scare with the stock market or whatever. People are trying to pull all their money out at the same time, and Jimmy Stewart's like, let me give you the standard form, you'll have your money in 6 weeks, so that he can still have some money in his bank. And Potter is offering everybody 50 cents on the dollar for their shares to just empty him out immediately, and then his idea is to move in and take over the bank. And he's like, well, this is a bank where we're okay with you if you don't get your payment in on time. We're the bank that gives you the small loan for your house. We're not the slumlords like Mr. Potter is. And
this is the Sanders Bank.
Yeah. And everything is just starts going wrong all at the same time. And all this money, like $8,000 in 40s money, turns up unaccounted for.
That's a lot of money in 40s money.
Yeah. And so he goes to Potter and he's like, Mr. Potter, can I get a small loan, something? Just keep me afloat. Gosh, and Potter's like, oh, misappropriation of funds. I'm going to call the police right now and they'll settle you, but good,
This sounds like a very compelling watch. I must say I'm interested. It's
absolutely great. And so that's when the suicide stuff comes. He goes home.
Oh,
he
sure.
tells he just he lets loose on his whole family. He's just like, well, can we just get her to stop playing that darn piano song? Haven't you practiced it enough? Don't you know it already? Stop, I'm telling you.
Aren't you a regular Beethoven by now?
Yeah, pretty much. And then he goes off and he thinks about throwing himself off the bridge. And he sees a man throw himself off the bridge and he's like, oh, I gotta go in and get him. And he does. He goes in and he pulls the guy out, and that's Clarence. Clarence says, no, I pulled you out.
Ho, ho, ho. M. Night Shyamalan.
I pulled you out, and I'm going to show you a world where you don't exist. And here's the final moment of unforgivable sexism in this movie. Okay, no. Okay,
here we go.
Overlookable but not okay is I'll let this movie. I'll
print
let this
that on
movie
a T-shirt for you for Christmas.
I'll let this movie have it, but it's not okay, and we know that now. Where it's like he sees everybody, nobody recognizes him. They're like, "Hey, how do you know my name? Get out of my bar! I don't like you." And then he's like, "Where's Mary? I want to know what happened to Mary's." "Oh, you don't want to know what happened to her. You don't want to know what happened to Mary when you weren't around." And he's like, "I want to say her now, Clarence, or I'll bust your lip." And they go to this Grey Gardens dilapidated place where Mary's just is like, "You're not gonna like it. She's an old maid. She never married. She never married." Without you, she just dwindled into a barely existing at all without a good man in her life.
That is a heaping helping of male egocentrism right there.
And then he's like, "Oh, I want to live again, whatever." And then he comes back to life.
I can't see my wife looking all homely.
Yeah, and he goes home and he's like, "Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, what a great day. Mr. Policeman, I know why you're here. You're here to take me to jail. What a beautiful day it is." And then everybody turns in all this little Kickstarter. They all give a little money that they have, and
that's the part that I'm
save his
with
bank
that, right.
and save him, and then it is a wonderful life. And then a bell rings, and then he's like, "Good for you, Clarence. Good for you. Oh, attaboy, Clarence." Good. But what? You know what? For all the only thing I can really fault it with is it's the politically correct insensitivities that we now have a better awareness of. It's not. This is one thing that comes up with dated shit like that. It's not okay. It's not okay the way they made these portrayals, but it's not their fault so much. Like, they didn't have a good example to follow. It was not a talking point. This was not an issue that they had to deal with or reflect upon. That if there was a great big internet age feminist movement, you could argue that maybe she wouldn't have been an old maid. She would have, something else shitty would have happened to her.
Yeah, certainly.
Who knows?
It's